more than that, it will include weapon accessories. The first Grim Knight came around at that time when, you could put guns that can't be held on his back, but you can't have him holding guns. That's just too much. For accessories, Grim Knight comes with this machine gun, and that's not bad at all. And then he comes with a grenade launcher. He does have a left trigger finger too. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Because I'm Robo. This here's the rewind. First things first, let's go back to last week for a little correction. Some of you seem to be under the impression that I'm up here talking out my ass week in, week out. I had quite a few people comment, the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Grim Knight did come with guns. Yeah, sure it did. I just reviewed that figure 4 years ago. Don't you think I would have remembered if it had come with guns? So when I said that I do hope that they add weapons to the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Collector Edition Grim Knight vs. Killer Croc Dark Multiverse, which is essentially a couple of repaints, I mean, I hope they do add weapons, since the original did not come with weapons. Hey, look, I'm only human. I'm a person, and my name is Robo. Don't know. Is it down there somewhere? Maybe over here? I can't ever remember. No. Thank you to everyone who set me straight, reminding me that the WB anti-trigger weapon with toys thing didn't kick in until after McFarlane Toys had DC Multiverse rolling. As soon as I saw the first couple of comments, my brain snapped back. And, he did have a gun and a grenade launcher that I forget about because I ended up giving that to the G.I. Joe Classified Series Gung Ho. It just looked better over there. That's why my brain... So, oops, I did it again. I played with your heart. Got lost in the game. The game of toys, because just like last week, there are some newer photos of some upcoming Fresh Monkey Fiction Big Bad Workshop Operation Monster Force figures. Again, pictures of actual figures means we're one step closer to that release date, and I need more Operation Monster Force. The Sleepwalker Aerial Assault Trooper is giving those same army builder vibes as the Wave 1 Sleepwalker, only this time there's a fancier jacket, there's a jetpack, and there's werewolf parts. It's a trooper builder within a trooper builder. I mean, you have your sleepwalkers, and then you have your werewolves. But once again, it's the unique character that catches more of my attention. This is Lieutenant Griffin, the Eraser. Unlike the Donner Party that we talked about last week, this descendant of the original Invisible Man turned to a life of crime. That is until MI5 captured him, injected him with a toxin that needs to be suppressed on a weekly basis. So they send him out to assassinate people, but they know he's gonna come back because he values his own life over those that he's taking. Oh, but that Forgotten King is a slippery sucker. He found a way to bypass all that. And now the Eraser works for him. So this is a unique character for the villain shelf, which we needed. Seemed the good guys were stacking up, but the bad guys just had troopers and such. But it's not just the invisible parts and the wraps and stuff. It's also the cleverness of the background and even the name. The Eraser. He's invisible, but he also erases his targets. Yeah, I just love shit like that. During the last rewind, we also discussed the Frazetta Icons Conan and how the pre-order was going to go live sometime in March. Well, that happened this week, so we have all the nitty-gritty now. We knew this from the teases, but this does confirm that there is an alternate, just hair-flowing head that you can replace the punch bowl head with. No, I know that helmet is iconic, and I'm glad it's there. There's options for people who want to make different versions of Conan. Besides that, there's swappable hands. There's a big bracer you can add if you want to. There is a shield, sword, dagger, and a couple of axes. I said it before, I'll say it again. And this is my preferred, or well, one of my preferred looks for Conan. If the other company that's doing Conan, I'm gonna need both. I'm gonna need this and then theirs. This is just Conan going out, covering up the basic bits and bobs, weapons in hand, taking out enemies. But just as I was content with this release, I noticed in this picture that behind the Norseman is an oddball helmet and shield. So of course I went to the internet looking for, just scroll, until Frazetta Girls posted that there will be a DJ Toys Asian market exclusive of Conan that changes things up slightly. Same figure, just a different sword, a different shield, and a different helmet on the helmeted head that takes away that salad bowl look. And I gotta say, I like this better. The sword looks tougher, and that helmet, if I were to get this, I'd be hard pressed not to display it with the helmet on because of its horniness, I guess I was gonna say. It's just more helmet, less party dome. But there is a method to this madness. The standard release Conan is based on Frazetta's more popular paintings. The Asian market exclusive displays a lesser known. In fact, if you go Googling, this pops up a lot more. Then there's this, which is the option for the main release. And then you really got to go digging for this. So I understand, but that's not going to keep me from haunting the overseas sites and hopefully 5K toys. Oh, pop that up and I'm pre-ordering. Bam! It says super limited, so if I don't get one, it won't be the end of the world, but I'll still probably lose all my senses. But that's just so typically me. We rambled about the Harvinger Studios Death Dealer last week, but again, solicitations went live. We have more information. Not so much the overall look and accessories for the figure. We had the pretty promos from the jump. There's lots of display options. It comes with a sword, axe, spear, shield, and then alternate buckles, shoulder pads, torso armors, and helmets. I thought it was just two different heads, but there's actually some swappability between the components of those heads. You can swap out the mouth coverings and the horns for each helmet. And as long as you stay symmetrical with it, there are 8 different options. If you want to mix and match the horns and get some asymmetry going on, or just leave them off altogether, there's like, carry the knot, like 2 million different looks. Not that many, but you can change it up. There's soft goods, there's real metal, the whole 9 yards. Right now it's only available through the Savage Crucible site, but there is a couple of options there. If you pay in full up front, you get the early bird special price of $60, plus it gets you home in time for Matlock. Is that joke old yet? But if you don't want to pay it all now, you can put down a non-refundable deposit of $5, and then the overall final price is $70. They do say Death Dealer will eventually be available on the usual online retailers, but the price will be higher, and I'm gonna guess that's gonna be $80. That's the number that's marked out for the current pre-orders on Savage Crucible. If you want it, the link is in the description. Is it crazy we've made it this far just talking about action figures we already knew about? Welcome to the rewind. For something new, ish, Jada Toys announced another Ultra Street Fighter 2 Player 2 variant this week. Last week it was Fei Long in purple pants and a couple of extras for WonderCon and Next Level. This week it's Guile in blue for Target. I know, that was hard for me to say out loud. A blue figure for Target. It was just this week that I saw the reissues of Wave 1 Jada Toys Ultra Street Fighter 2 in the regular toy aisle at my local Walmart. And now they're letting Target have Blue Guile. I don't know what's going on in the world today. Now, you know me, I'm not the biggest Street Fighter fan, but Blue Guile does hold an itty-bitty special place in my heart. It was many a San Diego Comic-Con ago that I got the Soda Toys Blue Guile because I didn't get the regular version for whatever reason. But then I ended up foddering it in my never-ending quest to make a Marvel Legends style Agent X. So that Blue Guile is long gone. Parts, pieces, spread to the winds. And now I feel like I need a new one, an updated one. Yeah, I'm just talking myself into toys over here. Unlike Fei Long last week though, this doesn't come with any exclusive parts or pieces that didn't come with the first version of Guile. It's just a repaint with the same alternate heads, hands, and Sonic Boom. That's how you do a Sonic Boom in real life. Sonic Boom. You gotta get the twirl in there. They did say a limited quantity will be available next week at WonderCon, but I'm not going to be at WonderCon. I'll be at Toylanta, which is okay. It's not high on my priority list, but if I see it at Target, snatch! As I'm recording this, the monthly Medicom MAFEX drops haven't went live yet, but they have been announced. Speaking just for myself, I can give my wallet a break this month because I don't have a mighty need for Movie Flash or the Zack Snyder Justice League Tactical Suit Batman. Both look great, just not on my list these days. Plus, and this feeling is completely unfounded at this point, but every time I see a Medicom Ben Affleck Batman, I get flashbacks of that first version back from Batman v Superman. Oh my, that was so terrible. Well, okay, Batman wasn't as bad as the Superman, but then that leads me to the C-3PO that is downright traumatizing and no, sends a shiver down my spine. And I get it. That was a long time ago at this point, and they've done a lot to earn trust since then. They've gotten so much better with QC and release dates, but still, it's just that initial, whew. Same exact situation with the Bandai S.H Figuarts Star Wars Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan Kenobi Classic Edition. Not the shivers or the trauma the way they have announced it. It's just this picture and, hey, coming soon. From what I can tell, it's essentially the same figure that was released 7 years ago, but this time around there is a Jedi robe, and they may have updated some of the paints, especially the face. Makes sense. There's an updated Anakin that is dropping right now. I know it says Ahsoka series, but you can use it in Revenge of the Sith. So, hey, need an Obi-Wan Kenobi to go along with that. And I think Revenge of the Sith has an anniversary this year, doesn't it? Foreshadowing? Either way, Tamashii Nations has been doing this a lot lately, taking their old figures, re-releasing them with a couple of tweaks here and there. Now, I've had a theory that I don't think I've talked about here, but I feel like this is just testing the waters for Bandai. Hey, do people still want to buy Star Wars figures? Let's not take any risks. Let's just use what we got, throw it out, see what happens. And I feel like it's working because they also announced S.H Figuarts Revenge of the Sith General Grievous. This silhouette is not fooling anybody though. Bandai has been showing a prototype of General Grievous for 10 years. And if they hold true to past releases like Count Dooku, they aren't going to change anything from what we've seen. Which is okay, because even back in 2015, this looked great. Fast forward to 2018 where we got better pictures, even better. If they can release it just like this, I'm happy. I'm not even going to consider the fact that it's a 10-year-old prototype because S.H Figuarts from back that far are still good. I still use Luke and Jedi Luke, and did Darth Maul get a reissue or am I still using the original? Either or. They came out of the gate kicking ass. So the prototypes from around that same time, all right. Okay. Because Hasbro's isn't that great. And while I love the model kit, I can understand a lot of people not wanting to go through the build of it or the fragility of it on the shelf. It holds together, you can pose it around, but it's very light and it's very thin. There's a worry. So now I have hope, a new hope that this will release because Bandai has shown figures that didn't make it past that initial stage. And I'm not talking about the piles of prototypes they've shown at shows over the years. I'm talking about actual announcements like Moff Gideon. They had pretty promos of him put out on the web. Or getting out of Star Wars realm, MCU Vision. And I think they showed White Vision. Where are those? But this is up on the cinema site. I gotta think they're not gonna back out now. Please don't back out now. In the realm of non-transforming Transformers, which I know everybody loves. Everybody loves a good non-transforming Transformer. Threezero announced their next MDLX Seeker with Dirge. This was the only possible outcome if they wanted to continue to reuse that body that they've been reusing quite a few times. It all started with Starscream. And you know what happens after that. You gotta have a Skywarp. And you gotta have a Thundercracker. Then they swung back around to Coronation Starscream, which is an inevitability, even though it is bad comedy. Merging over into the obscure lane, they next did Acid Storm and Sunstorm. Now, instead of continuing that trend of just simple repaints and minor tweaks, maybe the face, they could have done Hotlink, Bitstream, Ion Storm, Nova Storm, Red Wing. I think I'm missing somebody. I'm probably missing a few. They've now swerved into the cone heads. It's a smart move, really. It's still reuse, but it changes it up by moving the wings down, adding some extra gear, and then, of course, pointy heads. All those others I listed would be fine and dandy, but after Acid Storm and Sunstorm, they get even more obscure, and it just becomes a little boring. Oh, yay. I'm paying $119 for another repaint. This one's in red. This one's in blue. This one's in yellow. This starts another team So it gets us excited about the other characters with the cone heads, like Thrust and Ramjet. At least for most people, I never cared for most of the cone heads. I don't know what it is. I don't like the design of it. The wings going down makes them very arrow-shaped. Like, it's wide at the bottom, and it goes all the way to a point. Thrust always caught my eye, though. He was still a cone head, but the wings were still up in the middle place. Plus, he was a vertical takeoff plane. That's just awesome. Looks like we won't have to wait too long for the rest, though. They're already shown in shadow in these pictures, and if it goes like Skywarp and Thundercracker, should be pretty quick. Star Wars and Transformers, of course, leads us to Hasbro, where the Target exclusive Marvel Legends X Factor Jean Grey went up for pre-order this week. Just up for pre-order and then back out. I don't know how long it lasted because I was there right at 8 a.m. They had said 8 a.m. Central, and my alarm went off. And unlike Professor X, where I was just kind of, it's Target, they're not going to be on time. They'll show it in the afternoon. I'll get up in a couple hours. Oh, it's already gone? I wasn't playing that game this time around. I got up. I waited for Preternia to post the link because I can't ever find shit on the Target site. Pre-ordered. I locked mine in. Yes, I know it is missing the boots, and I absolutely hate that. I really do, especially since it's on the package right beside the figure, right there. But if I didn't get this, I would have customized one, and this is a lot less painting. At least that's my brain function. That's my thought process. That's my mental gymnastics. If anybody's ever tried to paint the X on a body before, oh, that's a pain in the ass. The straight lines over curved surfaces. So this gets me 97.23% there. All I got to do is paint some straight lines around the shins and then yellow underneath. Plus, if you haven't heard it 500 times before, I prefer the later X Factor costumes, Jean in the red and yellow. So the green being slightly off doesn't bother me personally as much, but I get it. I definitely get it. So Hasbro, if you are eventually gonna give us the later versions and repaint this in red, I was gonna step up to the microphone, but I'm wearing it. Don't forget the boots. That looked weird as hell because I'm talking to my own chest. I don't see how they're gonna forget though, with me and Twitter constantly harping on it. Every time I see any mention of this, boots! Where's the boots? What it came down to is I'm weak. Can't you see I'm a fool in so many ways? Finally, we're gonna finish it off with the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series fan stream because there's a lot to go over, so we're gonna speed run it. First off though, fan stream chat. Oh man, I clicked on it right at the end, and thank you for always being there and being predictable with the, we had already seen this in leak form. Where's the new stuff? Stream sucks. Hasbro sucks. The hell up. Anyway, for digital reveals, there will be an Amazon exclusive version for Snake Eyes. And while it's not my favorite version, I still like this more than Ninja at this point. I know, Ninja Snake Eyes is so played out. Yeah, he's all in black. And I know Commando is like that too, but I just like it better. What can I say? That's me, not you. Amazon will also have the MMS with General Hawk. I haven't got any of the trailer things with rockets. Do I need this with an earlier version of Hawk? For retro releases, there's gonna be a green shirt trooper and a bat. Just clean army builders. You have all these specialists. Well, okay, we've had quite a few bats. But on the G.I. Joe side, it's been mostly, I know there's troopers, I know. But this is green shirt trooper. It's needed. And then the bat's gonna have the clear windshield on the chest. So very classic feeling. For actual pre-orders that went up, 4 figures that we already knew about because they had been announced from Hasbro themselves. They started with the Frag Viper. I don't know much about the Frag Viper. I just like this look. It's got that, especially the uncovered face. I love the helmet. I love the, I can't remember what Lenny called it, the grenade flinger. Is that what that sport's called? Flinging? But that unmasked head, that robotic, dead stare look, oh, that's kind of creepy. And then you see that coming at you with grenades lobbing up over. Dang it, okay, I'll get one. Blowtorch in what was my most hated color scheme of ketchup and mustard, but I'm warming up to it. Even though, warm, I don't know, hamburgers have warm ketchup and mustard, but I hated it when it was on the Trouble Bubble, But now that I see it here, well, it's Blowtorch. All right. I still don't know much about Darklon, but he does look kind of cool. But then there's Footloose. That's a main Joe. Everybody get Footloose. Everybody get. Law and Order, though. Oh, man. Dun dun. That's the first thing that jumped in my head. My second thought is, good gravy. Does the G.I. Joe team know how to do animals? They're so good. It does kind of look like John Cena in a helmet, though, but I've been seeing a lot of John Cena the past couple weeks, so it's ingrained. Moving back into the condiment color scheme, the Target exclusive diver set also went up for pre-order, and I didn't realize that this came with one of the Mass Device things. I got the Snake Eyes and Polar Bear set on pre-order, so I get one of them. I missed Breaker, who has another one, and I don't want the divers. I don't not like them. I don't hate them. I just don't need them. G.I. Joe is that line of known characters, and the only reason I would get this is for the thing, or I would if it wasn't already sold out on Target, like all the exclusives, all the other exclusives that we saw this week, like the Pulse exclusive Snake Armor. This was my biggie for the day. This is the one I wanted. This is the one I needed. So as soon as pre-orders open up for non-premium members, I was there. Bam! I got my pre-order in. I was excited. I was afraid it was going to sell out before that time, but they were still around. And then they lasted for quite a bit of the rest of the day. I don't know exactly when it sold out, because you know how it is. Once you get your pre-order in, you don't care. It's like, I got mine. I needed this. I've said it before. I didn't have a ton of G.I. Joe as a kid. My parents could only buy so much, and I was more into Transformers and Star Wars and He-Man. G.I. Joe kind of fell by the wayside, but I had the Snake Armor because look, it's an armor, and it looks so much more improved over the original with the legs falling off and the rubber skeleton and the arms. Oh, got to get the arms in before I squeeze it shut and get the figure with the arms out of the way. Yeah. Ooh, had to have it. For name-only reveals, and this is where the crap, because apparently there's been leaks for these characters, but for me, it's just kind of, oh, look at that. It's Battle Armor Cobra Commander. Or, well, it will be. This is just a picture of the name-only reveals. Also, Monkey Wrench, adding to the Dreadnoks is always a good thing. Major Blood, is it going to be a more classic version? Because I would probably buy it. I was about to say, well, I already have Major Blood, and I'm pretty happy with it. Nah. More than likely, if it's a classic version, then yeah, gimme. But then they kind of lose me with the Renegades 2-pack of Sarge and Mercer, because that's a little bit out of my knowledge field. If the toys look good, I may think about it, but we'll see. And that's it for this week, or that's all I got, because that's what I was interested in. Next week will be shorter, I can almost guarantee, because I'm going to be recording on Wednesday. Thursday, I fly out to Toylanta. I do the show all weekend. So whatever news happens between, well, I record these on Friday, the usual versions, Friday. So whatever happens Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Tuesday, we'll have a Hasbro Star Wars stream. So maybe there's some stuff to talk about there. We're going to get that Dash Rendar? Come on, give me that Dash Rendar. Before we go any further, though, special thanks to the Nobots, the Patreon. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do this if it weren't for them. But yeah, Toylanta. I'll have some Josh Brown's heads available at the table. What else? Hopefully see some toys. They're going to have toys at their Toylanta. Let's see what else. Oh! I will have a review of the InArt 1/12 Dark Knight Rises Batman going up. They have an embargo on it, but it's in Beijing time. So and you already saw how I do math. So when I see, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of reviews popping up. So I'm more than likely going to post it Monday morning. But man, you don't know what you're in for. If you're looking for a Dark Knight Rises Batman, forgo all the other MAFEX S.H Figuarts, whoever else has made one. There's been a lot. This thing is insanely awesome. And I'm not just saying that because they sent me one for review. I have some nitpicks. I threw those in there, but holy, it's like you're looking at a miniature Batman just standing on your shelf. And a lot of figures are like that, but this goes beyond that. Somehow. It's like I feel when I look at Hot Toys. It's like, oh, that's not happening. No. that's in 1/12 scale this time around. They did a kick-ass job. They're coming out of the gate swinging. Until then, you know the mission. To have fun, to enjoy your hobby. No ifs, ands, or buts. I don't want to hear any excuses, okay? You can have negative, you can have complaints. I get that. I really, really do. But when it gets silly, that's when it's time to find something else to do. Love you all.